So my name is Sharon Walters and I am an artist. I'm a London-based artist and I specialise in working in collage. I'm also an artist educator, so I work with a number of different organisations including museums, community groups, and I absolutely love what I do. So the piece is called The Friendly Forest and it's about my adventures with my family during lockdown, in particular during the first lockdown, when we were only restricted to going out for an hour a day, and we would go on walks, and we found this space really close to where we live in London. The space we found, my daughter described as a magical friendly forest. We had lived in the area for 13 years and we had never seen this space before. So it had taken all those years and a global pandemic for us to go, actually, wow, we've got beauty on our doorstep. We don't need to travel really far. So this piece that's in the window, it's a reminder to relax and slow down and to see lightness in the dark. It's a layered collage piece. So there are 3 different layers. The front layer is branches and twigs that have been cut to remove certain sections. And then when you peer through, you can see a portrait of me. And then there's a backdrop of some open space. It's the largest piece I've ever created, hand cut all by myself. I create in order to slow down. If I kind of think about it, it really gives me space to breathe. So when I'm creating with a scalpel knife and usually a cutting mat. Obviously for the large scale show windows installation, I didn't use a cutting mat because there isn't one big enough. So I used an old table tennis table. But when you're cutting with a scalpel knife, you have to slow down. You can't have 101 things on your mind. Looking at representation, taking up space out in nature is something that has been on my radar for quite a long time, not just for this project, but also when I was working for a museum for 4.5 years until last year when I left, because I was coordinating community engagement programs and public programming. And I've also been thinking about artists such as Ingrid Pollard, where she was looking at representation of Black people in green spaces. My work is called Seeing Ourselves, so the whole series is about representation, it's about identity, it's about showing up in spaces where so often as a Black woman I'm not seen. So my series consists of more than 300 paper cut collages, but very rarely do I feature myself in that work, so I always feature other women, always other Black women, and it's about encouraging us to take up space. So this is the first time I've ever, it makes me feel a bit emotional, but it's the first time I've ever been shown fully, and it feels like such a natural progression to eventually get to the point where I feel as though I can be represented in the work. So there was a moment when the work was being installed and we put in the paper cut of me, which is a life-size paper cut of me, and I suddenly looked at it and thought, no, I need to cut sections out, because I realised that I didn't want to be seen. And to be seen in a window where people will walk past and see you every single day suddenly felt really overwhelming. And it was a really good moment for Charlie, the curator, who's amazing, to be there with me at that point, because she just said, no, this is really important to the work, that you're in the work, because she really understands what the work is about and what it means for me to be featured in the work fully.